I watched Dukes of Hazzard's The Beginning as well, which was a prequel movie that came out 2 years after this movie, where we get to see the cousins meet each other, and we get to see the origins of the General Lee. We get to see Daisy Duke go from naughty to hottie.
Oh, she's all that?
She's all that. She took her glasses off. Suddenly her boobs are bigger. I don't know.
What is going on, everyone? 2025 is the 20th anniversary of Joe Loves Crappy Movies, and we're taking a look back at the movies of Joe Loves Crappy Movies. So, Joe, what are we talking about this week?
Hey, Phil. This week we're talking about, can you believe it's been 20 years since the release of The Dukes of Hazzard, the famous remake that everyone loved in 2005?
I mean, it feels like longer, honestly.
Sure. Yeah. It feels like it's been 20 years since I've thought about it, but that's not necessarily true. I enjoyed Dukes of Hazzard. I grew up watching that in reruns as a kid. I feel like in the 80s and 90s, it was still readily available on, UHF channels. So
Nick
I
at
would catch
Night.
the reruns. Yeah, Dick at Night, sure. But I realize in watching this movie, this 2005 movie, that like maybe I didn't really understand what was going on in that show. Dukes of Hazzard is, I knew it was about three cousins and their uncle, and they were just, good old boys,
Never meaning
never
no harm.
doing no harm. Yeah, you understand. Like, I just thought they were just kind of like helping out people in their town and, whatever. But I mean, they were moonshine runners. Like,
Yes.
and they were constantly in trouble with the law. Like, every week. Like, they were technically the criminals of the show, but we still loved them and we still rooted for them. I'm realizing as a child, I didn't grasp all of that, but their good nature really shined through. So, I was a fan growing up. I was, I mean, how can you not be a fan of that theme song too? Like, it's a classic.
I mean, the car always jumping over stuff, like every episode.
Right. Every episode. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I realized when this movie came out in 2005, I think was the first time it occurred to me that like, oh, those cars never landed right. And I feel like there must have been some like news article or something that I'd read at the time that explained like, yeah, those cars aren't meant to make those jumps and land. So like every time you see the General Lee go up in the TV show, that car lands and is towed away because it's undrivable. So like somewhere there's a landfill filled with like 18 vans and General Lees and like Starsky and Hutch cars. And it must be the most beautiful landfill in the world. Yeah, this movie has a couple jumps in it, and I'm sure the cars didn't walk away so nice. I actually, while doing research for this, I found someone selling one of the cars on I don't know, eBay or whatever. He's trying to sell it. One of the General Lees from the 2005 movie, lightly damaged. So, it's out there if people want it.
It's all in the suspension. That's all the damage.
Yeah. Absolutely. So for those who don't know, I'll just read. Cousin Bo, Luke, and Daisy Duke and their Uncle Jesse egg on authorities of Hazzard County, Boss Hogg, and Sheriff Coltrane. So there's the mayor of the town, I guess he is, Boss Hogg, and the sheriff, and they're constantly trying to stop the Dukes from spreading their moonshine. And that is, of course, the basic idea, the basic premise. This movie goes into a plot of Boss Hogg's to sort of take over the town and to run out all everybody so he can take advantage of the coal mines, which feels, I mean, I guess in Georgia, no, you don't think about Georgia having coal mines, or I don't know. I'm sure there's money in coal. This feels like a very dated movie still, though. I mean, at least make it oil, but there's definitely not oil in Georgia. I don't know. I'm not a fossil fuels guy. I don't understand it all. So, God bless Boss Hogg and his his attempts to ruin the town. The cousins then go on an adventure to try and stop him. They have to figure out what his plan is and who's involved and all that stuff. It has them leaving Hazzard County. They go to
What?
yeah. They leave Hazzard County and they go to Atlanta for to try and figure stuff out. They do figure stuff out, so it's important in that respect, but it's also important in the respect that like we get a little fish out of water in that moment. And not just with them, but with the car. So
Oh,
the car is kind of a big deal, especially in remaking it. When the show was on in the 70s and 80s, I think was it 70s? No, it probably just wasn't just 80s and 90s in reruns and stuff. But it didn't seem like such a big deal. But in 2005, and certainly now, the General Lee is kind of a big deal in that it has a Confederate flag on top, and it's named
we're
after.
on top.
It's right. You can't miss it, and it's named after General Lee. So there's problematic stuff there. So like they're like sitting in traffic driving into Atlanta, and like everybody's honking at them, being like, "Hey, you're late for the Ku Klux Klan rally," and they're like, and it's interesting because the two of them are in the car and they're kind of like, "What are these people talking about?" And it's almost as if I don't know if this is factual, but in the movie they kind of make it seem like they didn't know about it up there. Like they didn't know that the flag was up there. Now, in their defense, they had just gotten the car back from Cooter, the friendly mechanic from the show who's in the movie and played by David Koechner, who's amazing. I love David Koechner. And it seems like he might have put it up there without telling them. So like, I don't know if this movie's trying to pawn off all the racism of the General Lee onto simple, naive, lovable Cooter. It's
I
certainly
have
possible.
questions.
Yeah, sure. Hit me.
Is the car named the General Lee? Like,
Absolutely.
but like, is it like, did Cooter like give them the vehicles? Like, hey, I've given it a name. It's the General Lee, and they're like, and the Duke boys are like, okay, whatever that means, but sure.
Well, it's not just a Confederate flag, and it says General Lee on it too, up there. So did he say, was he all like, oh, they named it the General Lee, I'll put that on there, and I'll also put this flag on there? or did he just put that up there too? I don't know. I would have to go back and rewatch the film. I'd be willing to do that, but I just finished it, so like I don't have time to do that right now. But part of me likes the idea that it's just Cooter's like this was Cooter's prerogative, and he's wrong. Like he shouldn't be putting that on a car. But I don't think his intentions were evil. But that doesn't make it okay. I'm not trying to let it slide.
Like, I
Um,
like, I wonder if there's the deleted scene where like you see Cooter like painting the flag on the General Lee, but he's like mindlessly like painting like he's like, this car needs a nice like pattern on top, but he
yeah,
accidentally paints the Confederate flag
right.
on there.
I mean, it could have been way worse. He could have just been like, he could have painted a swastika on top. How terrible would that have been? Anyway, I'm not trying to compare the swastika to the Confederate flag. They're basically the same nowadays, anyway. um, but yeah, Cooter, he could have been working all night really hard to get the car in good shape. That like he was just in a state where he didn't even know what he was doing, just a trance painting. But we'll leave it there. But it's funny because they get a chance to sort of poke fun at that they are good old boys and like they are from the deep South, and there are people interacting with them based on the car. They go into the college laboratory and a thing of coal blows up in their face. So now they are covered, their faces are covered in soot. And then they jump back in the car and then they're driving through downtown Atlanta and they stop at a light and there's a pack of African-American fellas there just hanging out. And they're like, what the hell? So the movie, I think, is wise for confronting stuff like this, which sort of haunts the Dukes of Hazzard a little bit. Um, it handles it with levity, and it doesn't put them in the right. Like it certainly is like what's going on here is not cool, and we understand. And I hope it comes across because I mean I don't know. I don't know if they handled it great, but they at least didn't ignore it, which I think is huge. We should say that the director is Jay Chandrasekhar, who is part of Broken Lizard, the the team that did Super Troopers and Club Dread, um, and Beer Fest. I love Broken Lizard. Like, and because of them, I was so excited about this movie because like they'd done all this self-funded or self-funded, self-made stuff, and it seemed like this was their first real shot at like big Hollywood. Like Hollywood came a calling, and they're like, "Here's the Dukes of Hazzard," and they're like, "Okay," and they took it. They took like this family-friendly show and turned it into like a hard R sort of comedy of that time.
Mhm.
I mean, a little sexist, a little potty humor, um, but funny. So I was excited to see the Broken Lizard crew and Jay Chandrasekhar sort of on a bigger scale. Uh, there are certainly positives in this movie. It is very funny throughout. I think Sean William Scott is perfectly cast as Duke, and he's sort of a doof. Like I don't know if these personalities line up necessarily with what they were in the show. I don't remember, but in this, Bo is, he's sort of his presence is that he's kind of a doofus, but he also like his other qualities. He loves the car. Like, like if the movie was 10 minutes longer, he would have fucked the car. Like that's how close it gets. I mean, he talks about it anyway. And then Luke's persona is more of like a ladies' man, uh, and and he shoots a bow and arrow, but that's about it. So character wise, they're a little thin now that I think about it. Um, but I think Sean William Scott is really well cast. I think he's very funny in this movie. Um, Johnny Knoxville plays Luke. It feels like a miss for me. I can
Yeah.
understand why they put him in there. Johnny Knoxville is very funny. This is a stunt-driven movie as well, and he's a stunt-driven performer. I don't think he did all his stunts though. Like I just watched one where he jumps out of the car, and I was looking to see his face. I even rewound it to see if I could see if it was actually him. I don't think it was. And I can understand why they wouldn't want to, because of, if he breaks a leg, then they got to shut down production. I mean, you got Johnny Knoxville. You got to have him do something crazy.
Do you think he wanted to do his own stunts, but they're like, "No, because we know you're gonna break something."
I think 1,000%. I think he's like, I'm ready. I'm ready to crawl out on this car and walk across it and just jump off. And I think they were like, no way. We just can't do it. He's good in the movie. I just don't think it's a perfect fit. Um, it's weird. It's that kind of movie where like I feel like they didn't nail all these things, or maybe they didn't nail them to how they are in my head. Because certainly, like you've got Boss Hogg, who's the mayor of the town and the main villain, and you've got Roscoe Pico Train, who's the sheriff, and they cast in that Burt Reynolds as Boss Hogg, and MC Gainey, who is one of
Yeah.
those. If you see him, you know him, sort of actors. He's Roscoe Pico Train. And I think he plays that sort of menacing. And then Burt Reynolds plays Boss Hogg sort of like sly and like a slick city man in the in the small town. And I don't know I mean, if you go back to the show, both of them are ding dongs. They're both like complete idiots and and then that made me think of the show. I was like, is there anybody in the show that was a formidable threat? Or were the Duke boys just having a good old time, just running wild?
Jumping over stuff every episode.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see that they took them and they're like, let's do something different with the bad guys to really give them a menacing presence. And it just made me miss how goofy Roscoe was in the show. Like, he's just he just drives around with this big hound dog and acts like a goof. I don't know. I kind of missed it a little bit. And then I mean, of course, you got like Jessica Simpson cast as Daisy Duke, which was kind of like the big deal about this movie. Like she was a real big reality TV star at the time, and of course a music star. And this was one of her first major movie roles, and it's as this icon, this sexual icon, basically Daisy Duke is. And they kind of, I don't know if it's good or bad, but they definitely exploit her. Like almost she's definitely a powerful character. She takes no guff from people, which is great. But she also 3 times uses her feminine wilds to basically seduce things out of people. They're not long scenes. They're not, scenes where she has to do anything terrible, but she's in a bikini in 2 of them. Like it's that kind of stuff. And it's just like, I mean, Daisy Duke, you should be able to do better stuff with Daisy Duke than that. I can understand it's like base level Daisy Duke. She's fine in it though. It's fine. I mean, a real win though is Willie Nelson as Uncle Jesse. Great casting. He's like an easy presence. They do this thing though where like if there's like downtime in the movie, not even downtime, but like during a car chase, he's just doing one-liners to Johnny Knoxville's characters. He's like, "Hey, you know what they call a lawyer that takes Viagra?" And Johnny Knoxville's like, "What?" And then he gives him the punchline. But like he'll do that for like a minute straight, which is he'll do like 4 or 5 in a row, and it's like, what? You're in the middle of a car chase. Like, take it seriously. People are in danger. But otherwise, he's a great presence, and he sings the theme song at the end during the credits, and it is just like, yay! It sounds so good. I mean, the real star, and I'm glad they showed up with this because I wouldn't have thought it was so important. But like, anytime there's a car chase, it feels real, and it feels like, oh, they mean business. Like they put their money into this car chase. All the car chases look great. There's 2 or 3 jumps. One of them is out of this world. It's good. The car chases they showed up for, so I was really happy about that. There's one thing that took me by surprise because it's a lot of good old boy humor. It's a lot of like hillbilly humor. It's like there's a bar fight, and someone throws a punch and it hits a guy in the giant belt buckle, and he's like, ah, because it's just a big old belt buckle. It's that kind of humor. There's one point where they take Boss Hogg's safe because they need to find out what's in the safe, but they can't get it open. So they're like, let's just take it with us. They tie a chain around it. And I was like, oh my God, did Fast 5 rip this off from Dukes of Hazzard? Because they drag it down the street and the safe is just bouncing all over the place. It doesn't kill as many people as the one in Fast 5. But it certainly, anyway, tons of goofy, good old boy, down home humor. A fun rewatch. It's a good movie. It's not great. I don't know how you make a good Dukes of Hazzard movie though.
Yeah.
There's too many variables,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be tough in like especially now trying to if you tried to make a Dukes of Hazzard movie, like it would be so different from the actual show. And I
Yeah.
was gonna ask you this, like, because you mentioned that they leave Hazard County and they go. And by the way, I have not watched this movie in case you didn't know. Like they leave Hazard County, they go to Atlanta. Like, is it like they in Hazard County they are like from the 70s, like, and they like when they drive into Atlanta, they're in the modern world.
No, it's not. No. They definitely in Hazard County, they're still modern. But
Okay.
I mean, it's funny. I watched Dukes of Hazzard's The Beginning as well, which was a prequel movie that came out 2 years after this movie, where we get to see the cousins meet each other, and we get to see the origins of the General Lee. We get to see Daisy Duke go from naughty to hottie.
Oh, she's all that.
And she's all that. She took her glasses off. Suddenly her boobs are bigger. I don't know. But one of the things they mentioned in that too is like, oh, there's no cell service down here. How do you guys talk to each other? And they're like walkie talkies. So they've adapted in the rural stretches of Georgia.
So do you own this on DVD or
I
Blu-ray?
do, yeah. I found it in my basement, and it had a Blockbuster sticker on it, and it said $5.99, and I said that seems about right. I can see myself paying for that in 2006. I do remember though, I was on the phone with somebody one day. This would have been in like 2006 or 2007, and Ya got mad because she saw it. She's like, "Why do we own this?" Yeah, it was my wife. Because there's no reason to own it. It's not that good of a movie. But I think I was really going through a Broken Lizard phase and really was getting all their movies. They have a great bunch of movies. Even like their first movie, Puddle Cruiser. Their modern movies have been a little off. They did a Hunchback of Notre Dame movie that didn't really land for me. But I don't want to drag any movies. But I'm always here for a Broken Lizard movie. They did another Super Troopers, and I think there's a third one coming out too. So yeah, I'm always up for Broken Lizard.
So I did want to ask you, since you mentioned the kind of the prequel and also Dukes of Hazzard, did they ever go into like the family lineage of the Dukes? Because they're all cousins of each other, right?
They are, yeah. I
Are
mean,
like
oh,
are
like
Luke and Duke, are they brothers? Like
no,
Bo and Luke?
no.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: they're all cousins from different parents, none of which are Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
like how big is this family, and why are they all spread out all over the place?
I was gonna say,
I
where
mean,
are their parents?
it's true. Like Uncle Jesse, Bo Duke, Luke Duke, Daisy Duke are all not part of the same nuclear family. They are from 4 individual families that have found a new family together. In Dukes of Hazzard Beginnings, like both the boys get in trouble for different things, and that they're like, you can either go to jail or you can go work on Uncle Jesse's farm, and they're like, I guess I'll go to the farm. So that's kind of how they come to town. But
Also, they're all Dukes, right? So like
that's
it's all
true.
brothers.
Jesse Duke is the eldest of the Duke boys, let's assume. And it's true, they're all Dukes. So there must be 4 Duke boys at least.
At least.
At least. All right. Let's ask Dr. Google. Let's see what he's got to say about Duke. That's not going to work. Duke family tree. uh, Daisy Duke family tree. What do you got for me? All right. Daisy Duke's family tree centers around her. Oh, there's a picture. Her Uncle Jesse Duke, who raised her and her cousins, Bo and Luke. That must be the...
Raised?
Yeah. I mean, that must be what it is in the TV show. Of course, in the TV show, there would have been tons of guest stars. There would have been like, hey, my cousin. Or of course, I mean, classically, they had those. They had Tom Wopat and what was the guy that played John Schneider? John Schneider and Tom Wopat. There was one season where they were contract disputes. Whatever it was, CBS, right. ABC, they were like, fuck you. And they brought in Coy Duke and Vance Duke.
Were they also Duke cousins?
They were cousins. Now they may have been brothers.
Okay.
But I'm looking at Dukes of Hazzard wiki here, and there's also a Jeb Stewart Duke and another family member named Judd Kane, not a Duke.
Do they have a sister?
Let's see here. Caleb Duke, Martha Duke, a member of the Duke family. She was. It's not telling you how. Oh, possibly Caleb's wife. This is interesting to no one, but I'm still gonna go a little bit further down. Joshua Duke, son of Martha Duke, Grandpa Duke, Jesse Duke's father. Grandma Duke, Jesse says his grandmother's maiden name was Denton. Mama Duke, Marmaduke. Gaylord Duke, the Duke's 3rd cousin from London. Oh my God. Do I need to do a deep dive of the Dukes of Hazzard TV show just to find out that episode?
I
Gaylord
mean,
Duke from London Town.
okay, so I've never really understood, like, anything past the first cousin, so, like, I don't know, like, removed or, like, second and third cousins, I have no idea what that means.
Sure.
Um, I don't know, like, how far away they are from the Duke cousins.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's just the,
geographically, they are at least a continent apart.
at least. Well, that's the that brings up another case. Could Daisy and Bo and Luke be second or third cousins, not necessarily first cousins? And if that's the case, why weren't they getting it on?
Well, but also they're all their last names are Duke, right? Wouldn't that, like, again, don't know what the second or third cousins actually means, but wouldn't that if they have all the last same name, they're like, wouldn't that mean that they are first cousins?
Yeah, I suppose so. Many people have tried to decipher the Duke's family tree in an attempt to understand how it is that so many people could be cousins, all with the last name Duke. This paragraph is for us. The last unofficial word on Jesse Duke would have had to have come from a family of 7 boys, including himself, as he would have had to have 6 brothers to have produced offspring named Duke, unless Jesse had 1 or more sisters who married men with the surname Duke. A situation not out of the realm of possibility. Okay, these are the theories. Brother 1, Luke and Judd Kane's father. Judd Kane was a long-lost brother for Luke that appeared in the episode Brotherly Love in season 6. He was thought to have died in hospital fire as an infant. Hazzard County. Brother 2, Bo's father. Brother 3, Daisy's father. Brother 4, Coy's father. Brother 5, Vance's father. So Coy and Vance, those replacement cousins, were, again, first cousins. And then Brother 6, Jeb Stewart's father. Jeb Stewart Duke appeared in the 3rd season called Along Came a Duke. And then Brother 7, Jesse. Considering Jesse's advanced age, it's possible he may have been a great uncle to Bo, Luke, and Daisy. Oh, interesting. Not even like
Uh,
yeah,
so you just call them Uncle Jesse.
maybe. And thus the brother of their grandfather. As the term cousin has a wide range of familial applications, it isn't strictly necessary for all various cousins depicted on the show to be first cousins. So, as excited as I was to find this chunk, they came to the same conclusions we did. There are no answers. The Duke family tree remains a mystery.
Unfortunate.
We'll never truly get to the bottom of it. And both of the films I watched were no help whatsoever.
Unless there's a third prequel, then maybe that will explain everything.
I mean, if one comes out, that'd be great.
Speaking of other movies, is there a movie that you would recommend if somebody's looking to watch a movie with similar vibes as Dukes of Hazzard?
Huh. That's a good question. I was thinking about this earlier. I didn't come up with anything, and then I forgot to keep thinking about it. I didn't hate watching the beginning, Dukes of Hazzard, the beginning. It's not good. It's worse than this, which is, I mean, neither film is good. The beginning one is worse, but it has its merits at the same time. Because of the style of this movie, it feels very much like if you told me this was American Pie presents Dukes of Hazzard, I'd be like, okay. There are a couple scenes where there's just like when they go into Atlanta they go to a college to see a friend to help them figure things out, but they're going through her sorority house and they're just opening doors and there's just like naked girls in there, and it's just like, well, I mean, I'm not complaining, but it doesn't seem normal. So I would say watch American Pie. That's a good movie, right?
Yeah, talking from the late '90s.
Yeah. Or watch one of the ones from 2005. I'm sure it's American Pie Presents Bandcamp or American Pie Films 2005.
American Wedding, is that one of them?
Could be. No, I was right. I nailed it. American Pie Presents Bandcamp came out in 2005. But yes, there's classically, it's American Pie 2, American Wedding, and American Reunion. Those are the theatrical releases. Anyway, that's Dukes of Hazzard.
We're only recommending American Pie at this point, not any of the other sequels.
Nope. No, I mean, if you're looking for the kind of movie where people go into a sorority house and open doors without knocking, then any of the American Pie movies will do.
All right. So any final words on the Dukes of Hazzard?
I wish they could crack the code to making a movie that's a Dukes of Hazzard movie that's accessible, but I don't think it's possible. And it's been 20 years since they tried, and I don't think we're going to get one in the next 10 years. But that's okay.
So what did you guys think? Have you seen Dukes of Hazzard? Do you have any more information on the Dukes of Hazzard family tree? Let us know. Drop
Please.
us a comment, please.
It broke us not knowing.
But if you like this, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you all on the next one.